we invested, one of the early investments was in this company called NVIDIA, which was trading at $22 a share before the split adjustment. So in today's terms, it was kind of closer to $1 a share. And so a colleague and I sat down and said, well, these algorithms are very good pattern recognition. A lot of what we do in finance is pattern recognition. Why are we not trying to build machine learning based investment algorithms? That fund now is about $1 billion.
Wow.
And is coming up on a 5-year track record.
We've talked about managing clients, and also you've touched briefly on improving the strategy with emerging technologies and developing technologies. Can you touch a bit on that throughout your 15 years in financial markets? How have you seen overall in general strategies or your specific strategy change with these new technologies and with this heavily data-driven approach that's being adopted across industries and fields?
Yeah, so I think I'll give you a personal experience actually.
Please.
So when I started researching fundamental equities at M&G, I was attached to a thematic fund, and the main goal of the fund was to kind of go around the world, find some of the most innovative companies and invest in them. So we invested, one of the early investments was in this company called NVIDIA, which was trading at $22 a share before the split adjustment. So in today's terms, it was kind of closer to $1 a share. So that was the best investment we'd ever made. The worst investment I ever made was then selling it at $100 a share.
Okay.
Thinking that we'd
got me excited there.
Yeah, we were thinking we'd made 5 times our money, only to realize and see what happened subsequently. But the story over there was, as we were doing that, I noticed that like there was this common thread tying across all the most innovative companies, and that they were all sort of either involved in or directly or indirectly in the proliferation of something that now everyone talks about. So everyone's talking about AI, but a lot of these companies were actually benefiting. So machine learning at that point, which was the AI application, was being applied in other domains, so like in life sciences, in drug discovery, in image recognition, but it wasn't being used in finance. And so a colleague and I sat down and said, well, these algorithms are very good pattern recognition. A lot of what we do in finance is pattern recognition. Why are we not trying to build machine learning based investment algorithms? And so we actually, I mentioned I did some. So I helped start the quant equities business at M&G, where a colleague and I basically sat down. It was his sort of he coded up the first ML model, essentially utilizing a kind of a database that we built up through internal fundamental data, essentially, and then started trading on a very small amount of internal capital. Had ridiculously good results from it, and said, okay, we should put together a team with this. So we found individuals within the organization that were interested in machine learning, brought them together, built up our first kind of prototype model, built out the platform, and then actually pitched it to our CIO and said, what do you think? He said, this is awesome. Give us some seed money. And so there's that fund now is about $1 billion. Wow. And is coming up on a 5-year track record. And so that was just a simple sort of seeing technology being used cleverly in another space and saying, so now you can go across different asset managers, and everyone's got like some AI based investment algorithm. But I think for at the time we were doing it, was 2016, 2017, no one even knew about this. And so that gave us a bit of a head start. Now, the business is kind of taking on a life of its own over there. And so when you talk about, really utilizing technology, well, those same capabilities can now be used for, if a big part of what you're doing is trying to gauge the emotional state of the market, you can use a lot of these algorithms to get not just sentiment, but get prediction
or...
Well, you can sort of get a sense of where news flow is going.
Yeah.
So you can get intensity of news flow. You can get, what tone is being used when people talk about markets. And what you're trying to do is find those periods of time where the narrative is being driven by price. And you can use technologies now to understand that. So oftentimes, basically, you have a story, and then the price reacts to the story. Whether it's a political event or a natural catastrophe or something like that. There's news, and then the price reacts to that news. But oftentimes, what we're looking for is where you have price being the key source of news, and then the narrative follows the price. That's where the human emotion kicks in. Now, there's various technologies and techniques that you can use to actually visualize that and bring that to life. So there's all of those things that we're bringing to our investment process on the macro side, but utilizing technologies that we built for our early ML based investment algorithms.
That's a very interesting story, like that you took the risk, and I think this is a lesson that young professionals can learn from. If you see something emerging, whether it's a technology or a trend that you think you can apply to your work, I think that's a great lesson of try to slowly bring a colleague that you think might help or have the skill set where combining both skill sets can help you deliver this fully, which is what you've done. So it's very interesting.